At 24, he landed a job in finance. Nice office, well-dressed coworkers, big city lifestyle. 5 years later, he was buried under £60,000 in debt. This is how it happened. This is the story of a young professional who thought success meant spending money he didn't have to impress people who didn't care, and how that decision followed him for the rest of his life. Stay with me on this one, because if you've ever felt the pressure to keep up with everyone around you, this might hit closer to home than you think. When he was 24, he got his first job in finance. For him, it felt like he'd finally made it. But quickly, he noticed something. His coworkers wore expensive suits. They took weekend trips to Paris. They went to fancy restaurants like it was nothing. Most of them came from wealthy families. He didn't. He'd started his career in charity work, low pay, simple life. But this new world, it was different, competitive, loud, flashy, and he felt the pressure to fit in. Immediately. His job was in sales, and in that world, relationships mattered. So did socializing, drinks after work, dinners, parties. 4 nights a week, he was out. Sometimes he could expense it. Most times, he couldn't. He'd stand at the bar, buying drinks for everyone, silently praying his credit card wouldn't be declined. Because admitting he was broke, that felt worse than being broke. But his money problems didn't start there. They started earlier. At 21, he graduated from university. No savings, no emergency fund. He took an unpaid internship. To survive, he used his overdraft. Later, he got a paid role. £12,000 a year. In London, that wasn't enough. After rent, there was barely money for food and transport. Instead of asking for help, he applied for a credit card. £4,000 limit. It felt like relief. It was actually a trap. On his 23rd birthday, something happened. He tried to pay his rent. The card was declined. Payment failed. His heart dropped. He'd been avoiding his bills, avoiding reality. His mother had to lend him money, and he felt like he'd failed her. 1 month later, he applied for another card and got approved. £5,000 in seconds. No questions asked. Soon, he had multiple credit cards. When one filled up, he transferred the balance to another. He never paid anything off. He just moved the problem around. Buying things gave him a rush. Shoes, food, trips. Each purchase felt good. For a moment. The closer he got to the limit, the stronger the feeling. Spending made him feel in control. But he wasn't. At 26, his friends started getting married. Stag parties, weddings, trips. One was in Las Vegas. Thousands of pounds. All on credit. He told himself, "They're my best friends. I can't say no." Meanwhile, bills piled up. Cards maxed out. Debt grew. Every raise he got, his debt grew too. Eventually, the pressure became unbearable. He called a debt helpline. They told him to write everything down. Every card, every loan, every bill. It took a full day. When he finished, he sat there, staring, ashamed, overwhelmed. That night, instead of asking for help, he drank until he passed out. That was his lowest point. After that, he made changes. He moved to a cheaper place, took a bank loan, paid off some cards, canceled his gym, stopped going out. For the first time in years, his debt stopped growing. He also changed jobs, better salary, more stability. But the damage was already done. Today, he still owes around £60,000. That's more than 7 times the UK average. His friends are buying houses, starting families, moving forward. He feels stuck. He says, "I funded my 20s with credit, and I'll spend my life paying for it." His story isn't rare. Millions of people fall into the same trap, not because they're irresponsible, but because they try to keep up. They try to impress. They try to fit in. And debt makes it easy. doesn't. If you're struggling with money, you're not alone, and it's never too late to change. Learn from this story before it becomes yours.